Hi everyone, welcome back to No Sugar with Everything Kraus. We're
Woo.
getting older.
We're getting older. We're a year older. I'm 23. Katira's 26. We older.
We older. We older. Yeah, so I just had my birthday. Let's reflect on it. No, I'm kidding. I am kidding. Like, actually, this year,
Katerina?
I need to stop talking about my birthday. That's how I truly feel.
No, it's because, guys, Katiri and I were cracking up this year at our birthdays because we've never been the girls to just like love our birthday in a sense where like, let's all go out to dinner and invite all the girlfriends or like
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
big 21st birthday. Like, we've just never been those girls. Our families, like, our birthdays have always been like literally family at home with a birthday cake, like nothing crazy. And this year we were cracking up because obviously we're moving into more of like a influencer style of content. And we like, it's such a big part of our life is our birthday. So we were like,
Yeah.
we can make so much content around our birthdays, lessons learned, mindset, all these different things. So Katira and I have just been cracking up because all we feel like we're talking about is our birthdays. And we're not birthday girls. We're like, I literally don't care. Like, I hate my birthday.
No, literally, it was just like making me laugh. And also, like, everyone in our family, like, all weekend was like, well, it's Katira's birthday, so like, whatever Katira wants to do. I'm like, since when do we put this much emphasis on one of our birthdays? Like, it just felt like it was a lot of attention on it. And I feel like for the first time I was really not into my birthday, but I was just like, okay, it's weird. Like, hitting 26 is like a weird feeling for some reason. And I was just like, I was like, please, everyone, stop talking about the fact that it's my birthday. But of course, it led to this episode. We're not like doing a whole reflection like
No.
Isla did for hers. That was kind of a feel
That
like
was
very
more so I requested that.
well, it was kind of like a mutual reflection, I feel like, too. Like, everything you said, I was like, yes, I agree with, obviously. But, you know, as we get older, I feel like we talk a lot about this, even just like amongst our siblings and everything. It's crazy how I've truly seen my priorities change, just things I want in life change. Obviously, like, you know, you get older, you start to fine tune some things. And I feel like hitting 26 made me reflect on it even more just because, you know, 26, it's like, okay, I'm 4 years away from 30 now. Like, I'm 4 years away from hopefully like getting married, having kids, like doing like this next phase of life that's so big. So all these other things that I thought I wanted in the beginning of my 20s just seem so crazy to me now, or just like that's not relevant, that is not important to me anymore. So things change, your mindset changes, your what you want in life changes, just even your wants of like material items can change. And
Even
I
your
feel
mindset of like you turn 26, like you're now in the back half of your 20s. It's scary. It's kind of scary thinking about
100%.
a new
Oh
chapter
my,
coming. What the hell is that even going to look like? Like,
yeah.
what?
No, for real. I like actually was having, I feel like I'm having like a quarter life crisis at 26 now that I'm like officially through like 25 years. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like not a quarter life crisis. That's like a way dramatic way of putting that. But
But
you're
I
right.
feel
Like
like you feel the weight of like people having quarter life crisis because like this is like a turning year for you.
Yeah.
I feel like, and society makes it feel like such a big deal that I feel like you feel a lot of pressure and expectations
Yeah.
in life now. Like, it's not a
Exactly.
crisis, but it is definitely. I feel like it's putting some pressure on you for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And as much as anyone can say like I don't like feel pressured by society to do anything, as much as like I will say that too, and I'm like, yeah, no, like everyone, I see so many people getting engaged on Instagram. I don't care that I'm not engaged. Like, I don't compare to that. But then I feel like slowly, like, as then you tell people you're 26 and like the first question they ask you is like, oh, when are you getting engaged? So you're getting married soon? It's like,
Yeah,
why is that
everyone
the first,
always asks Kateri that. The first
I
I've
was
noticed
getting
that.
my eyebrows done, and she literally, and like, this is like my relationship with her. Like, I
Yeah.
love Dasha. She's amazing. So like, she's also Russian. So I feel like in her culture, she's just like, yeah, like, what are you doing? Anyway, I literally, the first question she asked me, she was like, so when are you getting the ring? And I was like, why is this the first question
Yeah.
everyone asks me when I tell them it's my birthday? And like, I'm getting older. I'm like, I get, as you get older, you progress towards that phase. But I'm just like, can everyone mind their own business? It's
Yeah.
very, very weird. And I'm like, you don't.
Well, I feel like it places pressure on you even to think like, should Tyler and I be getting married right now? And like,
No,
you both are on
literally.
your own individual journey of
I'm
trying to
like,
figure out your guys' life plan.
yeah, I'm like, this is my relationship, not yours. Please leave it
Yeah.
alone. Like, I don't need outside unsolicited advice or opinions or questions about the timeline. Like, that is like one of the weirdest things. So I feel like that does put a lot of pressure on my mind of just like life in general. It's not even just the whole like married. It's like everything that has to do with finances and moving out. I live at home still. Like moving out of home, that's a big deal. And like moving out for good. You know, like when I moved to Florida after college, it was like there's always that potential to come back. And I did come back, right? Like I'm not moving out for good. Now it's like, okay, when I move out, it's going to be for good. Like I'm out of my parents' house for the rest of my life. Yeah. So I just think all of that kind of, it can be a lot. It's like, well, I need to like break that down and reflect on it a little bit. It's not a bad thing. It's obviously the way life goes, but definitely comes a lot quicker than I realized. You know, it happens really, really fast in like a blink of an eye, and I'm here, and I'm like, wow.
It really does. I feel like
I'm
I
going
just
on
turned
like
21.
the later 20s. Yeah.
Like I literally feel like I just turned 21, and I was thinking like, wow, I'm just at the beginning of my 20s. Like what's gonna happen? And I know I'm only 2 years older than that now, but so much has happened in that time. But like I'm already like, how am I 23? You know?
No, literally. And before you know it, you're gonna be like,
I'm gonna be 26, and then I'm gonna be 30. Like I can't believe in just 7 years, and that's like the timeline of like I want to be married by 30. God, whatever God's plan is, of course. Yeah. But I'm just like, isn't that crazy? Like you never know what's gonna happen in the next 4 years in your life. Like you could be pregnant. I always think of Julie, and I'm like, Julie didn't know she was gonna be pregnant this time last year.
No, we were just talking about that with Julia yesterday. It is crazy. Like a year ago, this past weekend, like we were getting like drinks with Julia, we were having fun, and now Julia has a baby. Like her life is looks totally completely different. Yeah. And it's just how quickly things can change. But I feel like another kind of, I don't know if it's like pressure, but like as you get older, and I've been talking about this with either like Isabel or honestly like Mike, my physical therapist, we like talk about this a lot of just like as you get older, kind of how you transition from like all of these friends to just family is like your priority. And obviously Mike, he's older than me, he has a family, he has kids, so like he's really in like the family zone. But one of the things I think Isabel and I sometimes put pressure on ourselves for are like friendships and holding on to friendships from high school and college and making new friends. Like how do you make new friends when you're older and you have different values and you kind of are a different person than you were in high school? And that is one of those things I think recently I've been reflecting on too, because I am not super close with anyone from high school, like grade school / high school, and anyone really from college. Doesn't mean I have a bad relationship with any of them. Nothing ever happened where it was like a fallout. Oof, I don't like them. We got in a fight and now I just don't align with them. Like when I tell you all of these friend groups from these phases of my life, if they asked me to go out to dinner right now, I would. Right? There's nothing happened between us. But like as I got older, I just slowly started to kind of pull back, I want to say, or just I changed. So the things I wanted to do and the people I wanted to hang out with naturally changed with that, just because I'm a different person. And I think that can be a scary feeling when you're in your 20s, because you see a lot of people around you have all these big friend groups, and some of them maybe are all friends from high school or they're all friends from college, and there's no shame or no hate on that. Like that is completely okay, and I respect those people and their relationships as well, but I am not one of those people, so it's hard not to compare, I think, to those situations sometimes. And although I'm so strong in who I am, and although Isabel is as well, it's kind of hard to not be in your head about it. But it's one of those things that as you get older, it just naturally happens. Like maybe not with every friend that you have, but like with some friends, you will naturally kind of just pull away from, because you're just different people at the end of the day.
Sorry, dude. I just actually had a brain fart. Like I had the thought, and then you ended the sentence, and I was like,
I'm keeping this all in it because I'm cracking up. Like I saw your mind go blank. Full on. I was like, she has no idea what to say, and I just kept going. I like kept talking.
Guys, and I'm almost never speechless. I honestly feel like I was speechless when Katira ended there, because I just agree with everything you said. Like I didn't even really have anything to add, because I think you hit it like head on the nail, really. Is that
nail
just as you get older? Oh my God.
I just have to say, like, that is going to be cut out, but she had said that before and asked what the correct thing was. So like she said it wrong. It just made me really laugh because we had already corrected it.
Head on the nail?
Nail on the head.
Like I'm literally having like a memory problem today.
Yeah, it was like actually not okay. Anyway.
Yeah, no, I'm not okay. Anyway, I really thought you hit it nail on the head. Nail on the head. I thought you nailed it. I'm sorry guys, I gotta collect my giddiness. what I do want to add is that I completely agree with people really growing away as you get older, especially as you change. You know, I remember like when I'm so different than who I was in high school. I'm still the same girl. It's so interesting because I feel like my whole life I've kind of lived through this. Not that I've never had friends, but I've never like cared for the pressure of having a friend group. Does that make sense? Like, oh, like I don't have a friend group right now. Like it never has bothered me because I just feel like being the youngest sibling and watching my siblings grow up before me and kind of watching my brother now transition into this family stage, watching Xander kind of lose. You know, I watched Xander party with these kids every single weekend in high school. Like he did not prioritize family. He prioritized those friendships, even in the first 2 years at Alabama. And I now look at him and like none of those friendships are really in his life, only a few of them. So it kind of, I just feel like I'm going through life watching my siblings kind of go through that stage that just seems to naturally happen. And it's sort of kind of like guided my mind to be like when someone leaves my life or a friendship ends, I'm sort of like, you know what, that's a part of life. I'm growing up. And I've gotten really comfortable beating to my own drum. I don't really know why I said all this, but
Well, no, it makes sense too, because also, like, as you get older, like I was saying, you do change. And the point of life is to change and evolve. And the things that I was interested in high school and college are not what I'm interested in now. So now I'm just trying to realign myself with people. And like Isabel and I have been fortunate enough to start meeting all these people. And Isabel and I will always say to each other, like, wow, there are girls who think like we do or like the same things we do, who are into their faith and working out and doing all these other things on the weekend, as opposed to doing what we're kind of like trying to get away from, of like going out and partying. And again, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I just am not going to put myself in a friend group that does that every weekend because I don't want to be there. And that would not be fair to myself. Like I would be sacrificing who I was to do things like that all the time. And so as we get older, it's more about how can we realign with people who do value the same things we value. And it doesn't mean we're going to be the same people, but like, how do we meet those people now? And how do we meet them and then start doing more things with these people, right? And it's Isabel and I always talk about our siblings, but like they truly are our best friends. Like when I think about like my high school best friend and my college best friend, it's like at the end of the day, Isabel is my best friend. Like it doesn't matter who comes and goes because like Isabel is my best friend. My brothers are my best friend, but like obviously Isabel's like who I turn to for like who I turn to for literally every single thought in my mind. And there's no breaking up this friendship because we're sisters, so we're really lucky in that way. But it's like and when I think about it, I'm like, all I really need is Isabel at the end of the day, and then you know the rest of my family. Like I really and then as we get older, I'm like, why I brought him up in the first place, like Mike always says, as you get older then you just start focusing on your family, so your time for friends kind of withers away anyway, because it's like, well, you're focused on your family, I'm focusing on my family. And now we are getting to that point. Like Joseph and Julia just had a baby. Their priority is now Kennedy. Our family's priority is now like shifting to Kennedy and Joseph and Julia. And then when are we going to see Brittany and Brendan and the kids, right? It's like we're planning family trips to go see the Florida family and go hang out with Brittany and the kids and all of them, because they're our priority, not getting away to Florida to go on a family vacation. It's like get away to Florida to go like see our family. You know what I mean? So it's just like things shift obviously as you change, and then also your priorities start to get more fine-tuned, I think. And obviously I think there's so many things that can happen in life that will change your priorities, but I think just when it comes down to it, like my family is the utmost important thing in my life. And I'm not saying I'm not open to other friendships. Like I said, I'm starting to meet more people, and it's like I'll prioritize you, but it's not going to be like an every weekend thing. And I think they know that too, because we align and match, they get that as well.
I honestly think Kateri and I have had the benefit of, like, I know I said this a little bit earlier, but watching our older siblings go through these phases, because like Kateri just said, it's not that you can't have friends. It's not that we're saying like, oh, your family becomes your everything. Like there is no time for friends anyway. No, maybe that's how we'll be. I'm not sure. Like maybe we're already so family oriented. That's just how we'll be. You can have other friends, but like Kateri just said, it's not going to be an every weekend thing. It's, you know, like you really do have a family to prioritize. And once you have that family, once you become that mother and that father, you're not going to be thinking like, I want to go black out with Josh next weekend, you know, like, but like for real, like you're going to be thinking about your kids. They're going to be your utmost importance, and your friendships are going to be people who really make you feel good and lift you up and add to your life. And like give you that break that you're looking for on the weekend. So I just feel like we have the benefit of understanding that because we've seen it. Like I've seen Joseph and Julia go through that and I've understood. And I don't know, it just makes me think that like sometimes I feel like I'm so caught up about friendships right now. Oh, you don't have any, oh, you don't have any. But I just feel like I'm kind of like ahead of my age in a sense where I'm like, I'm okay with my alone now. And I do have friendships, like I have great community. But I know that, you know, when I do meet my man, my husband one day, when I do have my kids, that like all of these worries that I'm worrying about right now aren't really going to be mattering because my cup's going to be so full. I'm just in this season of like alone. You know what I mean? Like I don't even have a boyfriend. So it's not like if I don't have friends and I don't have a boyfriend, it feels very lonely. Imagine if I had a boyfriend. Imagine if I had kids. Like, you know what I mean?
No,
I don't really know
exactly.
what I'm trying to say. I just feel like I view friendships so differently, and like Kateri just said, you grow and you change, and the people, like that's just why friendships end. Like I don't know, like the friends that I would have in college would not understand that I'm not available every weekend. Do you know what I mean? But like now when I meet people, like that's an important factor of like I'm very aligned. Yeah, we're probably not going to meet every week. We'll probably go on a walk, maybe a walk every week, and then try and like get together every 2 weeks or something. I don't know, but it's just I don't know. I respectfully, guys, I need to move on from the topic of friends because my brain just seems to be like literally shutting off when we talk about this. I don't know why. I think it's just because I didn't form any thoughts on it. I've like been so okay with being like whatever.
No, literally. But I think you brought up a good point of like where you were saying like obviously we keep saying like your priorities change outside of just friendship too. I feel like as you get older, you're focusing more on things that make you feel good and that like are aligned with your life. Like I forget what line you just said, but it was like you want your friendships to add to your life, right? It's the same with like any other situation in life. And I feel like as I'm getting older, I'm being a little bit like more nitpicky with the things that I even do in my life in general. And it's like I want to prioritize things that like make me feel good, not to be like so like uplifting all the time, but it's you just kind of like wean out what you used to think was like so important in your life. Like Isabel and I, if you look back at like our old Instagrams, which I don't even know if they exist in terms of photos, but like I was all about like the Gucci belts, the designer bags, all of that, like having the cool sneakers, like everything. Like Isabel and I, that's what we wanted. That's just like we went through that phase of, you know, wanting all of that. Now if you ask us, I could care less if I have another designer bag right now. Like literally could care
I
less
literally
about
don't
that.
care.
Like I don't care if my clothes are from TJ Maxx or if they're from Rag and Bone. You know what I mean? Like it's just wild how I've watched myself mature in that way too. And when it comes down to it, it's more so like I prioritize, I know we keep like my family, I even prioritize like my own health. I prioritize my family being healthy and happy. And like to me, that is a rich life. Like having a strong faith, a strong family, a strong body, all of these things matter way more to me than the designer bag or like the quick little endorphin hit of like driving a nice car or something like that. Like I used to think at this point in my life, I was gonna be driving my G-Wagon in my own house, doing all of these things. And it's like, yes, we're not there yet financially, but also like, I honestly don't care about that either.
Yeah.
Even if I had the money financially right now, like, would I even want that? I don't truly think so. I think it would look different. I do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I do. And I do think that comes with maturity and like getting older. And I also think it comes with growing closer to God. I think our relationship with God has sort of just like the closer you get to God, it's not like he removes you from that side, but you just don't look for it anymore. Like I don't remember ever feeling like we made a shift where I care about my health now. It sort of just was gradual. I think we sort of reflected on our materialism in ways that we didn't even realize and like kind of just got rid of it. But it is really cool to see how we change and grow. And I feel like, I don't know, I don't want to say this to like wrap up the episode. I'm telling you that. I'm just like saying another thing. I feel like, I don't know, Kateri, when you said that, like it just made so much perfect sense to me of like, we age at like the perfect rate. Like, do you know what I mean? Like God did not make a mistake in the aging process, in life, in death, in how it's supposed to go. Because I feel like for, like you said, you were kind of scared turning 26. There's a lot of pressure. I feel like I've been scared of getting older too. Like I remember last year turning 22, I was just like, it's just weird. Like I'm in my 20s now. And I just didn't like it. And this year, 23 felt a lot older. And I had a reflection. I said this in the 23 episode, but like I'm not old. And like not that I'm not old, but getting older is the point. Like each year you get more wise and you learn more and you refine yourself and you drop the friends that aren't good for you and you drop the habits that aren't good for you and you become better and really grow into this new person by the next year. And it's like everything that is happening at the right time. You know what I mean? Like you drop this materialism because you're 26 and you're going into your family stage. Like what a beautiful chapter. I just feel like we dread aging so much. We're so scared of getting older, and it's like, why are we scared? Like that is a part of life for a reason. Like you're not meant to live.
The good things happen.
Like you're not meant to live in your 20s forever. Like you experience your 20s, then you leave them behind and you go and experience 30s. Then you have your family life. Then you experience life when your kids are teenagers. Like aging is the point of life, and it's a really beautiful process because it's all different chapters. And I feel like we get so caught up of wanting to stay in the same chapter and being so scared of the next chapter, and it's like that's the whole point of life is literally getting into that next age.
No, literally, it
I don't know if that makes sense or if that sounds really stupid. But...
No, it does. It's like it really is the entire point, and I feel like that's the problem with society is they like make you scared of the next chapter. Like I even listen to like podcasts sometimes, and they talk about like getting married and how that is scary. You're with the same person for the rest of your life, and like I view that as the most amazing, beautiful thing in the world. I'm like,
oh my gosh,
can't wait for that. Like.
The only thing I'm scared of, like, getting older, like, this is random, but the only thing I get scared of is thinking of, like, when I won't be, like, next to Kateri all the time. Just because I'm like, what's Kateri and I's relationship going to be like when we're older?
Well, that's, like, a weird thing. I agree. Like, that's, like, the one thing of aging and, like, going into this new phase of life. We are all going to have our own families. And right now, our family is our priority, but we're all going to have our own families that then become the priority. So it's, like... what is that going to look like for us? And again, we're not going to know until we're in it, until we have time to reflect on it and take a look at it. But it's almost like setting ourselves up now so that when that time comes, it looks even more beautiful and full of family and love, because we all kind of know, like, at the end of the day, my kids and my husband are the most important, but spending time with you is also very important. So like we'll all come together. It almost be like a shared
like thought process. Well, like we'll be like, you're not gonna prioritize your kids and me be getting mad that you're prioritizing your family over mine, because I'm gonna be thinking the same way.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think naturally you get older, you age, and that's how life unfolds. Like,
and it's the best. I think the best part about getting older is that maturity of like once you start. And I'm not perfect. Like there are so many times that I'm very immature, even just in like my ways of thinking. I'm immature in my relationship, like in my fights with Isabel, like the things I say, I'm like, that is so immature. Like it's, you know what I mean? Looking back at a fight from a week ago, I can say me and you were both being immature, right? Like it's but I love getting older and becoming more mature. I do, because it's kind of like light bulb moments of you just are more confident, you're a little bit more wise, and know you don't have the answers for everything, but yeah, it's truly like I feel like the best part is because you're not as
so right. You're not, so right. Stupid. I'm like smiling, but no, because I'm literally thinking of like my 18-year-old self, and I'm like, you knew nothing. You lacked so much depth.
And that's why like when people now, it's like I don't mean to be like those people, but like now I understand when older people see us, while they're like, oh, you guys, like, you just wait, or like, you know, you're immature yet, you don't know. And it's like, okay, I get that, because I, like you said, I look at 18-year-olds now and I'm like, you're so young. Yeah. Like, of course you're doing that. You're immature. Yeah. Of course. Like, that like, is no the point of your life learned right now.
That yet. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I just think being able to change your mindset around this, because I think a lot, like for people who are listening to this and maybe you're around our ages, you're somewhere in between as well and I, or a little bit older or younger, this isn't things to fear. This is like so beautiful and so amazing that we get to grow and to change and to look forward to new phases of life. And as much as like turning 26 scared me a little bit, like I definitely, even there's still things I'm like, okay, I want to, you know, I really want to like hone in and focus this year and like getting myself set up for that next phase of my life. But it also makes me really excited because I know like I'm not the same person who I was at 25, and that's awesome. And I know that I'm more mature. I know that I'm more like equipped to handle things in life and hard decisions and do all these things. And that only happened because the time went by and situations happened in that time. Yeah. That doesn't happen overnight. No book is going to teach you how to be mature. Yeah. Your experiences living your life are going to teach you it. And that's just, you know, that's how it goes. But
you're right. It's like the fruit of aging.
Anyway, so the people who are listening are like, like getting older does scare me. I think Isabel and I aren't trying to preach to you because we know everything about life and are, we're good and we're set and ready to go for that next phase. It's more so just showing you like, listen, we have these thoughts too. We have these worries about friends and like our future and getting married and having babies, all this stuff. But let's like all try and sit back and enjoy it as well, because we are going to look back at this point in our life, and in 15 years we're going to be, oh my gosh, remember when we had like no worries when we were 26? Look these podcast episodes, what we were talking about, life was so easy, you know. And I feel like we need to try and put ourselves in our future self's shoes so we can look back at these moments and enjoy them more. And like turning 26 isn't petrifying. It's like, it's a beautiful thing. So try not to take that away from yourself. Like, I'm telling myself that in this moment, you know?
Yeah, it's only the only reason you're scared of the next age, of the next chapter, is because it is unknown. Like, truly, that's the only reason I'm scared of marriage, is because it's for the first time something that's going to be new in my life. It's going to be the first thing that splits me from being a 20-year-old to like changing something in my life. And I just want to add that, like what Kateri said a little bit earlier, kind of drawing back to it, but maturity is the best part. I know we kind of like touched on this, but I just like need to really emphasize this, because I can't believe the amount of mental like maturity I've reached this past year. I've always thought I was a mature girl for my age, just because I've been surrounded by older people my entire life. But the amount of information that I've learned this past year about myself, about life, about even just like how to approach situations, like I am completely different than how I was handling things last year at this time in my life. And I'm so happy about that. So like, although I'm a year older and I may feel like, oh, I'm like getting closer to that, like I feel so happy with the lessons I've learned. And the reason that I bring this up is because if you're feeling like you don't relate to this, like maybe take this as a second to reflect in your life and see if you are recognizing the areas for growth in your life. Just because I feel like a lot of people fear getting older because sometimes they're not mentally getting older with it. And I feel like for me, getting older has been a great process because I'm mentally getting older with my physical age too. Do you know what I mean? So like when I'm 25, I'm going to feel like a 25-year-old thinking about 25-year-old things. Right now, I think we have a problem with 27-year-olds thinking about 23-year-old things. And I feel like that's why people are so scared of this next chapter, because they're just not in the right headspace. And maturity really is the point of aging. And it takes hard work to mature, because you have to seek a lesson in opportunity, in obstacles, and you have to really look inward and almost find where you were wrong, because lessons aren't formed from other people messing up. It's formed from you messing up. So you need to be able to like really look inward on your year and be like, what changed me this year? What can I take away from it and be different? Like that's true growth. If you're just changing your number every year, you're not going to feel too good about it.
That's honestly such an amazing point. And I think that is one of the reasons when on my birthday, you know, I like made myself wake up early so I could start to like journal and reflect a little bit, because I think part of the reason I was feeling a little bit weird was that point that you made about being able to mentally age with your like your actual number changing is really important. And for a little bit, I feel like I've been getting comfortable where I was, you know, like I wasn't doing a lot of the self work. I feel like I was making excuses as to why I wasn't, you know, waking up early and journaling, or, you know, reading the self, like all these little things that I feel like I did for a while and kind of put on pause. And I think that's why I sort of got in my head a little bit about turning 26, because it's like, well, these are something that this is what you can actually do. Like you have control over this, but making sure that I'm mentally growing. And I am, but like there's certain things, like you said, it does have to be intentional too. Growth doesn't just happen overnight. And because you go through things, if you don't reflect on what you go through, if you don't work on it, if you don't, you know, try and really break down what it taught you, the lessons you've learned, all these things, you're not going to grow. It's just going to be lived experiences and wasted experiences almost, if you don't try and see what you learned from it. And I think that's a great point, because sorry, the dog's, you know, starting to bark.
They're pretty loud. I'm pretty impressed with how loud I can hear them.
I swear, like when I'm recording in here, even like when Dad's on the phone, like he'll be in the kitchen and I feel like he's next to me.
It sounds like you're on AirPods. It sounds like Dad's like speaking on the mic. I hear this entire conversation right now.
Dad?
Yeah, I hear him completely on the phone. Unless that's Xander.
At Xander, I don't hear him.
Oh, that's Xander down there. I'm like,
oh really? Yeah, Xander's on air right now. I'm looking.
I'm like,
at him
I hear his. I was like, I hear his entire conversation all of a sudden.
Yeah, but I'm not hearing Xander, so that's
okay.
Good.
I was gonna say I didn't hear Dad earlier.
Anyway, I think the whole idea behind this episode really was to try and ease other people's minds. Again, I don't know if other people feel like this, but I feel like when it's on Isabel and I's mind, we just always want to bring it to you guys and just remind you that like you're not alone in these feelings if you are going through a phase where you are losing friends, or just family dynamics are shifting, life is shifting, you getting a new job, you're moving, maybe you are moving out of the house for the first time. It's okay, embrace it, it's a beautiful thing. We're right here alongside you, kind of going through those motions as well, but how you choose to see it and how you choose to grow through those things is really up to you. And if you're listening to this and you're like, wow, I've never really reflected, I still have the same friends, that's okay too. You can also change any point of anything in your life at any point. Like,
yeah, you could also, maybe
you
you met your friends in high school that are so aligned with you to your core values that you are the same person with those same values and they are too, and you guys are still friends. Amazing. We're not saying that. Like, I don't want anyone to get that message.
No,
our journey is definitely different, for sure.
But it's also just like, know that you can change any point of your life really at any time. And being in your 20s is the time to do it. I think Isabel and I are always trying to remind ourselves of that. Our parents are always trying to remind us, like, if you're going to do something, do it now. Like, you have nothing really to lose. Like, okay, maybe you'll lose a little money. Maybe you'll lose some friendships. Maybe you'll lose yourself for a second. But you might as well do it. Like, before you know it, you are going to be married and have kids. And changing your life and uprooting it and moving and doing all these things isn't going to be as possible, as easy. Yeah. So it's like, you might as well just embrace it now. And I think,
just treat it, just like remember that everything that's uncomfortable, everything that's scaring you in this process of getting older, or even just in life, like Kateri just said, you're moving out, you just graduated college, you're kind of scared, like you're only scared because it's unknown. And as soon as you take the first step, as soon as you walk through that chapter, you're going to learn, you're going to become older, you're going to mentally mature, and it's going to help you in life. Like that is the point of life. I feel like every time I'm doing something new and I'm petrified, I'm like, this is the point of life. This is how I grow and become a better person, is by doing this, because I'm scared of it. So just, I feel like, remember that. I was so scared after post-grad. Now look, here I'm 1 year in. That's the point of life. I'm done college. I'm moving on to the next phase. You know, like that is life, is to move on.
Exactly.
And I feel like moving on is very hard, especially as you get old enough to like understand the depth of what moving on means sometimes.
But if you like, if you had when you were graduating college last year, if you had a window into your life right now, you'd be like, why am I even scared? Like you would look at where you are now, and it's like, maybe if you nitpick like everything that happened over the past year of like anything, oh yeah, scary situations, hard situations, whatever, uncomfortable, but in the grand scheme of things, like you said, taking the first step is the hardest part. And then once you do that, it's going to happen. Life's going to change and happen anyway. So you might as well just be on board with it.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Really.
And be present with it. That's another thing. I feel like Kateri mentioned that earlier. Last thing I want to say on my part is just like, be present in your life. Something I've been doing is like, this is my 23rd year. I want to remember every day of my 23rd year. I don't want to rush into marriage. I don't want to rush into having kids. Like, I feel like I'm in this season right now of like baby fever because of Joseph having a baby or something.
Yeah, literally.
And I'm like, Isabel, appreciate your singleness. Appreciate this time that you have alone to go on a beach walk in the morning with not thinking about texting. Did you get a good morning text from your boyfriend? Like, enjoy this time before it's the next chapter. And as I stay more present in my years, I feel better about getting older and just the process of aging, because I'm like, yeah, I lived that 23rd year.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree. I think that's also one of those reasons why I wanted to like wake up and like do some journaling on my birthday morning, is because, and why I want to get back into that is because I want to stay more present. And it's not all just about like, oh, I need to like focus back on myself. But like you said, I want to really remember my thoughts. I want to write them down and get them out of my mind and visualize them and be able to read whatever it is I'm thinking, whether it's really ugly or really beautiful. Like, I still want to experience and live them. And I think that is the most beautiful part of life too, is being able to be present and embrace all the different emotions and feelings that come with it. So
yeah, definitely.
That's what we're doing right now. You know what I'm saying? Anywho,
I'm like emotional right now, folks. I've been crying at the drop of a dime, and I ain't even on my period anymore. What's it called? Is it me?
Today in PT, I think Mike called me feisty 2 times, and I'm in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I'm on like day 2 period, honey. Like, yeah, I'm feisty.
Feisty, I'm sad.
He's like, feisty today. I'm like, yep, I am.
Cried before this, but now I'm mad.
Yeah, I'm like, yep, I'm feisty. Okay, take it or leave it. He's like, it's fine. I love when you guys yell at me. Honestly, I'm like, I'm not even yelling. I'm just like, I definitely wish I had a little oomph to my.
I know when Kateri gets. Yeah, I know your period.
Things just come out really blunt too, and like, I forget what he was saying.
I forget. Like, I feel like you said something to me before, and you're just like, oh, I don't care about that, and I was like,
yeah. He was. Oh my god! Today we were doing like a leg extension thing, and we have like it's like a machine, whatever, and it has 10 pounds per leg as like I'm extending my leg. And he's like, all right, so we're going to do the 10 pounds, like, and we'll see. And I'm like, he kept saying, like, we'll see. Like, I forget what he was saying. And I just turned him and go, what do you mean we'll see? Like, what will we see? And he's like, okay. He's like, we'll see how you progress with it. And I was like, I just like,
what do you mean, what will we see?
Yeah, I'm like, what will we see? I don't understand. What are we seeing? And I'm like, my quad again? Like, I'm like, it's there. It was so funny. I was like, I was just like, okay, sorry, that was aggressive. But anywho, Isabel, why don't you go ahead and tell them what to do?
Listen, some of the best advice I could ever give you as you get older, what you're going to need in your life in order to be able to mentally be okay with getting older, is No Sugar Podcast. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Like this video, comment on this video, interact with us, please. Follow us on Instagram at Everything Kraus, at Sculpted with Kateri, at No Sugar Pod. All 3 platforms matter. You need to follow on all 3, please. Just please interact with us. We really come from the bottom of our hearts. I know we always ask you guys to interact and like and follow and everything, but we really appreciate you guys as a community, and it's because of you guys sharing our podcast that the community has grown. So we are not ashamed to ask, because we only want to reach more people and want to make them feel heard and appreciated, and also just like seen in this weird stage of life that we're in. So
yeah. Exactly. So thank you guys so much for listening and tuning in each and every single week. We truly appreciate all of you. Like Isabel said, please feel free to share this with a friend, share it with someone else who kind of needs a little bit of that motivation right now. We hope you are having a beautiful day so far. We hope you have a beautiful rest of your week, and we will see you next time.